So I've had a little rant about, how I don't like this formula for calculating y bar. You got to use the moment away from the x-axis. And, you've got this rectangle here for each value of x. You've got one of these rectangles. And you find in the center and whatnot. I mean, we explain the whole thing. But you end up with this thing right here. And I happen to mention that, this integral looks a lot like this integral over here, where rather than finding the center of mass, you're taking that region and rotating it around the x-axis. You're doing something entirely different. And you're calculating the volume over here. And the only difference between this integral and that integral is that here you're multiplying by pi, and there you're multiplying by a half. So essentially, if you took this integral times 2 pi, you get that one. And it doesn't, initially that doesn't seem to make sense to me why that should be the case. But anyway, which is one of the reasons why I don't like this. It looks more like a volume calculation than a center of mass calculation. But then, I went back and I looked at calculation of my, and I realized, hey, look at this. This x times f of x minus g of x, which I like so much because that's a distance away from the y-axis times the weight or the area of that rectangle. But boy, that looks an awful lot like the shell method, where again, you take this region over here and you rotate it this time around the y-axis to generate this thing, and you're calculating the volume, and what do you get? But this integral times 2 pi. This integral times 2 pi. This integral times 2 pi. Coincidence? I wonder.